Welcome to the Monday night edition of Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks, a continuation from last week's Thursday's Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks on the sea turtle painting. We're going to try to wrap this puppy up tonight. I've remixed all the colors from last week, and which was the Wicked Blue, Laguna Blue. I did this time I changed the white a little bit. I did a 50-50 mix of opaque white and Wicked White. That way it's not as opaque, but it's not as transparent either, so it's kind of in the middle. And then I did my black mixed with a little bit of the Wicked Blue. And then I did a candy with blue candy and poison green to kind of make like a seafoam candy green. That's what I got going on for the colors. I'm still repeating what you're saying, Case. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mike Wagoneer, welcome. London Pen, what's going on? All right, guys, let's bring up Mr. Turtle. We got Mr. Turtle here. That's what we're doing. Let's bring up reference image. We got a reference image. This is what we're working from. This is a composite I put together of a sea turtle image that I got from a client I did a bike for years ago, in a whole big group of pictures. Recently, he is I'm not reading that. And so, yeah, this was just a water background I found, and a sea turtle from a larger array of photos, and just kind of composite them together for this painting. And then we did a paper cutout, and we did the paper transfer last week, so just a little recap what we did for those just joining. This was the paper. This was the paper, and then I used a 6B soft pencil and just penciled the back. And kind of took off the excess paper towel and basically made transfer paper. Easiest, simplest way to do it. You don't have to buy anything. Just have to have a soft lead pencil. And then I transferred the image by using a pen and pushing it in, and that left the image on there. And if you look down, you should be able to see, yeah, you can see where the pencil lines are in there underneath you where I haven't painted yet. And it's a nice, simple way to do it. Easy peasy. And then I cut out a silhouette and held that down with just magnets. Yes, this is an aluminum panel, but because the steel's in the background and these magnets are strong as heck, they will hold it down pretty well, actually. And just you can adjust. And that's the cool thing about using paper. No plotter or anything fancy needed. If this was something I was going to paint a bunch of times, I could make a plot file. If I wanted to like streamline it, we could definitely do something like that. That is an old GX24 plotter. That is probably about 15 to 16 years old now. I've been looking at getting to a GS24, which is the one I've been using for the past couple of years at different events, like the Airbrush, like Airbrush, when we did the Airbrush Getaways, and we did the Airbrush Rendezvous, and Airbrush Art Circus, we were using the GS24, which is newer, but that's the older GX model. So, yes. Go there. All right. So that's where we're at. That's what we got going on. We do have a current bid on this of $250 from Gary. And that's where we're holding. Roland. Never heard of Cal Comp before, but yeah, Roland. I've been using Roland for a long time. I love them. I've used some Graph-Tex before at certain programs. The Graph-Tex work well as well. So, you know, plotters nowadays, they're so turnkey. As long as you get a different, you know, a relatively, you know, different, what can I say? A relatively decent brand, you're not going to have any problems with it. So even a Cricut or Cameo, works as good as most older plotters, and they work better than some newer plotters, depending on the grade you buy. Like, believe it or not, like some of the US Cutter ones, they're pretty much the same head, same mechanics, they're just not as big. But the Cameos actually cut hard materials, which is also nice. But they're a quality machine. I like the Cameo Silhouette much better than the Cricut, mainly because of the software. I hate the software of the Cricut. Yeah, so the main one, the two big boys, the top three, the top one in the world really is Suma. Suma plotters are really like the top. And then you have Roland and Graphtec are like the next two top ones. HP, I don't even know HP made plotters. I know they make printers and maybe make printer plotters, but I've never used their plotters, so cannot speak to that. All right, so I want to work on this lower water a little bit. So I'm going to put my Wicked Blue. Honey, what's going on? Oh, my sound effects aren't working. Shoot, I'm sorry, guys. Ka-ching! Thanks, honey. I was having issues with the soundboard, the sound plug-in. I gotta get an actual soundboard instead of hooked to the computer, because that's where some of the issues is. I gotta have it come from a different source. One more piece of equipment to buy. I'm buying enough this month. No worries. Seems sticky in here. Alright, so let's get this bottom area done. This is a Wicked Blue. I want to get it darker down here and underneath him, so we get a little bit crisper of an image. Then I can bring out any white and things like that later. I'm just doing like basic little dagger strokes, kind of old t-shirt design. I'm not going too much. I'm not trying to stick to the photo too much, really. I'm just keeping this really simple. So I can cut back in later. I really want to focus on getting the turtle done tonight. Let's try to get this a nicer, even gradient. Gotta go from there. Mike Wagner, thank you very much. He said I usually have nice sound effects, as you know, but I don't have them right now. Oh, I know why. I think I know why. Is it because... Aha! Because I have another window open playing this feed. That would do it. So now if I plug this in... I'm going to try something. Alright, are we doubling it up again? Let's see. Let's see if we're doubling it up. Check 1, 2. Let's do some sound. Oh. Now. Yay! That's for Honey. Hey Mike, thank you. Alright, there we go. Now we're back in action. There's always something stupid. Alright. Cool. Alright, let's get this off. Yeah, so I just popped him out a little bit more. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, let's get back to where we were. So last week, I'm going to take this down. I'm going to go back and see. Oops, that's that view. Let's go back to the 3/4. Zoom in a little bit. That way you can see the reference and that. How's that look? Does it look pretty good? Do we need to focus up a little bit? Let's make sure we're good. I think we're good. Cool. Alright, so last week I was still working in the white. I'm going to do that as well. I remix the white. I strain this really good this time. I need to get a chair with bigger wheels to roll over the soft floor. This would be nice. Alright. Cool. So I want to kind of work on highlighting some of these shells and just spotting here, and then I can tone in the darks a little bit more. Let me see if I can. Yeah, you can kind of see where I'm at. I'm going to stay away from this area for a bit until I need it. Could probably thin this a little more. Todd Grigsby, thank you so much. Thank you. Every little bit helps. Keep this channel rolling, especially to pay for the new equipment I need to be getting in the near future. We'll be getting it. But we'll be good for now with this. Like I said, like the reason why I'm doing this white now, I don't want to like do all the detail and then try to switch to get all this white, all these bright whites, because I'll have to like really, I have to go back and forth too much because this white can be so strong. That I'll have to like go back in and darken it light and darken and light it. So basically I'm trying to get in that mid-range. So all these shapes I drew in here, that's for the darks. So really trying to like stay around that and kind of stray around it. Just basically studying the photo reference, keeping an eye on it. I'm still going to have a little bit of a heat issue up here today because I have to keep the air conditioner off while I'm doing the feed, which means it's going to climb in temp a little bit. I don't think it's as hot as last week, so we should do all right, I think. Yeah, the light's working really nice. So hope everyone had a great Father's Day weekend, all the dads. Hope you had a great one. My other air conditioner supposedly is shipped and it is on its way, so hopefully get that second one soon so we can keep things cooler in here. I'm going to shut this photo reference off for a second so you can see where I'm working. Well, happy belated birthday. Mine's coming up on Thursday. That'll be my 51st. Oh, we got a little bit nice things going on there. I can bring the photo reference back up. My hands are really tight tonight. I did spend a lot of time washing and waxing the car, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. So this will probably be my only feed this week. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a Thursday one, because I talked about last week I'm going to be doing the interior. I'm going to be doing a wood grain, faux wood grain Oh, I think it's like a 43, 42, yeah, early 40s pickup. And we're doing a wood grain. So, watch out for the R side again. RSI. I'm not sure of that abbreviation. I feel I should know it, but I don't. Oh, yeah, no, I got tons of that everywhere. Right now, I'm more worried about arthritis setting in and things like that. But no, I got a lot of repetitive stress, a lot of repetitive injury. Cortisone took care of my right elbow, which led to my hand issues like 3 years ago. And it's been really good ever since. That's one of the reasons I stopped doing a lot of my own body work and modifications to bikes. Now I work with a lot of great shops that handle the body work and a lot of clear and the polish now. So half the stuff I'm just subbing for that now because that was one of the things I was really killing my arm. Polishing really gets it. So for all this stuff in here, one of Jaro Mendez's texture effect. I think this is Texture Effects 3. I love this one for this stuff. It's got a really cool organic hit, and it just really gets a lot of little structural details done. Just gives things a nice texture. Like, I use it at this stage where it's underneath, because I'm going to be covering most of it up. So it's not like crucial into the, like, if you were going for photorealism, which I really don't. I like to give everything my own spin. But it's nice when you're studying a photo, just in the background so it's not so pure white, just to give things a little something. Warlock, what's going on? Oh, yeah, my mom needs to get the carpal tunnel at some point. And I'm afraid I'll have to probably do that eventually. So remember, this is the trick I showed last week with the blue, is moving your stencil to get kind of a nice organic wave pattern. It takes some practice, but it really does do a lot. See, like right here, I can it just softens that out. Whoa. Cool. Just enough. Yeah, like my hands are really tight in here. Well, I used to have really bad trigger finger, and that's really gone away a lot more since I got this tendon taken care of that led all the way up here to my trigger finger. That was a lot of the cause. It still gets tight. Some damage from some other extracurricular activities. The knuckles are a bit beat up. But this hand's been really tight since yesterday my left. All in here. But I was waxing and hand polishing my truck. And that probably had a little to do with it. Okay. Let's put this baby down. There's the white. Yeah, I'm dreading potential surgeries in the future. I really don't want to go down that road if I don't have to. So I was actually psyched we this week it wasn't looking so good. Saturday was all right. Was not great. But Sunday turned into a really good day around here, so that was nice. All right, let's bring up this guy again. Gonna get him in the areas where we want. This was that stencil I cut. Because now what I can do, if you look at the photo reference, these darker areas aren't like solid. They have like a fade, so I can actually come up now. And I can kind of stay inside and keep these controlled. And give them a little bit of texture if I want. Before I freehand around. Let's see. Oh man, it's starting not feeling good, man. It's horrible. I'm going to take this blue because I mixed up a nice candy blue green. I think I'm going to work in that tone. I really want to get some green into here. Yeah, man, get some rest, relax. We know you're here in spirit. Yeah, I try to show guys this. When I do like a quick color change, this is what I'm doing. I have just a spray bottle, and I just flush it out really quick. Yeah, that's it. And I'll get a decent clean. If I'm staying in the same color family, I don't really worry too much. That's it. I don't use anything fancy. Just a squirt bottle of water. And then I've always talked about straining. So these, what I want, so we've all done, I got a picture to show you guys later. So these are strainers I normally make. There's a video on if you look up my channel on how to make these quick, down, dirty strainers. And they take care of a lot of the problem. If you want to really double up, these little guys, they're like 11 bucks. I think they're overpriced, but they are super fine mesh. So like if you want to double check, you can do like your candies and strain those right into your brush. That's what's nice, is they do sit on your brush like that. And let's see if we catch anything. This has already been strained once. Nope. Actually, there might be a little dry particle in there. Some of these paints are really old. But regardless, it does help sift the paint one more time. And I'll just guarantee you're going to have a better flow. Oh yeah, if you look really close, you can see, there's just a little bit of bubble in there. Nothing, no particles. That's good. It's really good. But sometimes you get like one straggling little piece. Yeah, man, that mesh hack just works. It gets rid of most of it, you know? These are nice just because they're super, super fine, and it's going to catch anything. But if your paint's thick at all for, like, coverage, it won't run through these very well, or it just takes forever. So these are for, like, super thin, like, ink-type paints. Alright, so now we're getting into the... Guys, what's happening? Now we're getting a little bit more of the green tone. But it's blue. It's blue candy mixed with a little green. You know, you would think at 8 o'clock at night I wouldn't get increasing temperatures up here, but I am. Because now we're up to, I reuse a plastic mesh. No. These actually aren't plastic mesh. It's a fine, super fine stainless when you look at it. That's what's in here. It's a plastic cup, but this is a stainless mesh that's infused in it. So no, you can rinse this dozens and dozens. I got them in my studio, in my shop area where I have some solvents, and no, these work great. So they are nice. They are a nice tool. They do work. So. This is why guys who do recorded content have it much easier time, because you can make as many mistakes and you just edit and cut it, change it, and everything always looks perfect. So, but the real world, guys, just so you know, is rarely like that. See, this brush I haven't used some. Yeah, no, definitely beats using cheesecloth. Come on. You know, this brush might have a split tip, but I don't know if it does. There we go. Yeah, but between this, metal with just basically pipe tobacco mesh, which is not super fine, but like I said, it gets anything chunky. It lets you run like pretty unreduced paint through it, fairly thicker, substantial paint through it. This is when you're gonna run like down to like dyes. So this is some of the green. It's got a little bit more green tone, but like I said, I want to get this turtle to have a little bit more of a green tone to it. Before I cut in with like a darker. So I'm just going and hitting those finer cracks, just kind of building those in, and I'm keeping them really subtle. That's why I switched to the candy, so I can do some really subtle lines that are very hard to see, and I can darken some of them up later. But by going this green, it's going to help pop him off the background a little bit more. Yeah, I always call it cheesecloth as well. So realistically, yeah, as I keep going through this, and we'll see how the heat cooperates, we're going to get as much done tonight as we can. The rest of this I will most likely finish off, because I don't think I'm going to finish this. Hopefully before next week's feed, I get the cooling situation here. Yeah, again, this is the thing about doing live feeds versus recorded. I can record this with ACs running loud and all that stuff, and everything's perfect. And then I can go in and edit and post-edit and do all that, and you'll never know the difference. But I made a thing about going live, so you can see real world, and sometimes it bites me in the butt. Because once I get to 80, that's kind of my... just starts getting hard to work and talk and with the lighting on. Just starts to become a lot. But I do plan on this year, I'm going to start switching it up. Maybe at the end of the summer or during the summer. I might start going down to less live streams and more, you know, maybe do like 2 live streams a month and then at least 2 to 3 recorded where I can kind of smooth out the content a little bit more. I don't know, it just depends on how it works out. I do like doing the weekly lives, but they take a long time. I spend almost as much time setting up a live feed as I would if I did like a full painting with an edit. Dan Bugburger, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I love doing the live streams, don't get me wrong, so I definitely want to keep doing them. I gotta start getting more like recorded, edited content. And the goal was to edit these live streams down. I should be doing that more into smaller content, and I gotta see how that works. Because the problem is the live streams are great, but they don't have as much traction after the fact. And that's where I really need more traction, is more eyeballs on these. Because more eyeballs means it gets shared to more people see it. More people see it, more people watch it, the numbers get better. I get a little bit more money, potential sponsorships, and just everything kind of rolls. It is a business. And it just gets harder with the summer, with the heat. If I could turn the AC I have in the window here is so loud because it's an ancient window unit. It's really loud. So I got to get that in-room one replaced. I ordered it 2 weeks ago now, and it's not here yet. It finally said it shipped, so... But now it's saying it's shipped on the day I ordered it, which means, that's just corporate BS for whatever their shipping system to order system does. Oh yeah, it's been shipped the whole time. No, it hasn't. Liars. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you, thank you. Doing that in the super chats does make it worth it. I'm not complaining about the content and I don't make enough doing these. But like anything, there is a business to it. There is, a time to money ratio that I gotta hit to a point. My main goal is just not losing money. That's kind of half the battle, is to just kind of stay above water with these. And I'm usually pretty there. Okay, let's get in here, because there's definitely a lot of little details that I can do with the stencil. Where did that stencil go? Where did she go? You know what? Let's use this guy. Get in here. Because you look at the photo, there's a lot of little texture going on in here. And instead of copying it, we can just simply do that. And really get a lot in there. Now, I haven't done my shout out thank you to all my Down Dirty Tricksters. Oh, that's cool. So thank you for that, guys. Thank you for all Down Dirty Tricksters for the support. Always supporting me. Thank you very much. And don't forget those over in the UK. We live across the pond. Next year, we got this going on, so keep it out for Airbrush Days. If you want to sign up for one of the workshops, we're going to be doing multiple. And they do, basically, there's a day one meet and greet type work thing where I'll do demos, and then I do a 4-hour demo the next day, and then another demo at night, and then another 4-hour demo, workshop class. So there's going to be a lot going on that week. It's going to be really cool. And we're looking forward to it. So definitely go check it out. Oops. Nope, 12 things. That's 12 things. I'm shipping out the Tiki and Gary. I'm shipping all the paintings out this week too. This would be another one for 12 things. And this one will, because I cut it to size, this one will have a nice frame to go with it. If you don't want the frame, you don't have to take it. But it's kind of a driftwoody, old looking thing. It'll kind of go well with it, so that's going to go with it. Like I said, if I don't end up finishing this as a live feed, I will record it and finish it, and we'll upload all the additional steps. But it's really going to be a repeat of everything that's happening here, just more and more of it. Just going through and establishing texture, but the process of kind of going back and forth with the template that I cut out and just freehanding is really the biggest part of this. And just kind of going through and figuring out what's there. I'm definitely going to wash that kind of green tone into a little bit of the background color. I don't want to have that blue-green. How's it going, Kyle? Hello, son. The biggest thing about doing sea life and things like this is definitely freehand as much as you can. The stencil should just be used for registration because you really want to keep it as organic as you can. I'm going to get a little darker here. I'm going to go a little bit of that blue. Maybe a drop of the black color I have in here. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to switch camera angles. When you see this camera angle, you can see like the difference in color shift. Get that nice kind of bluish green. Okay, so now the color I'm going with, this is a mix of the blue with the black into that candy. So it just starts getting a lot darker. And it'll start looking almost black. See how dark that looks? And realistically, this is the color. But when you look at it here, it looks like I used black. And I did not. I'm going to drop my air pressure and reduce this a little more. I want it really fine. The only problem with using candy is when it gets on you, it just stains. Blue hands for a week. I ran out of gloves up here. Usually, honestly, when I paint with candies, I usually do wear gloves. Gary is at 350. Thank you, sir. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Ka-ching! 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 Oh, if anyone's into sport bikes, I put up a post last night. One of the customers I did a Hayabusa for, a really nice Hayabusa, is selling it really reasonable too. He's selling it for almost what the paint job was on it by the time that paint job was done. A little more. I'm just going to work on the face for a while and get that near done. This stuff is going to be so repetitive to watch. You're going to be bored anyway. So it's going to just be a lot of this. The tricks are gone now. The down and dirty tricks are gone. Now it's just repetitive technique. And lots of it. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I was building a bike years back, and then I sold it, and never bothered getting back into doing another one. Mike Cohen, thank you very much. Like I said, even if I don't finish this, I will record the rest of it. I'll edit it together, and we'll get a nice how-to out of this. The only thing for recorded, I got to be a lot more with this smaller system I'm working with. It only records what you're seeing right now, whereas my other system would record what you're seeing plus all the cameras independently. So I could go in and I could post-edit everything. So if I made a mistake, I could fix it in post. If I make a mistake tonight, I can't fix it. It is what it is. Just little details. Happy little details. The one thing about doing realism, more realism like this on a live, it's harder to talk and paint. We're just slowly building up to the darks. Because I can go back in and highlight. Like I can come back in all this little bright details with the white at the end. But I already have it somewhat established. That face. Gotta love sea turtles, man. I was gonna like Photoshop him a little bit and make him like a bigger smile and tweak his head size a little bit so he looked more like Crush from Finding Nemo. Dude. But as I was trying it, I wasn't really digging it. And it would have been more like anthropomorphic and less real. So we do have a bit of 350 on this from Gary. Thank you, sir, for that. So this feed's not going to go too much longer. I am getting hot and a little worn out from it. Probably wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't like end of day, like evening. Because I've been working around the heat all day. Little details. 12 things. Let me get a new paper here. Things at $3.75. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Gary said even 4. That's where I miss having Kaylee. Which she's downstairs. I just bring her up here. So she hasn't found a summer job yet. Thank you, Gary. The wife has instructed me to go 425. Thank you, sir. Tell your wife. Tell your wife to go to bed. Oh, it's fun. Oh my god. This is all oh, that's a riot. She loves turtles. The question is, how much does she love this turtle? He is pretty cute. Does come with a frame. If anyone's ever had to frame anything, you will know, you know, $400 for a painting is nothing compared to what these freaking places get for framing these days. They'll charge you more than this painting for framing. I remember years back, I can't even, I could probably show it. No, I can't. Yeah, no, I can't. Can I? Let's see. It's like when I had the Future Kill, that's this big painting, big Giger thing that's right there. Like when I had that frame, it's big, it's over 24 by 36, it's almost like 40. It's double matted frame. I think I paid $800 to almost $1,000 to have that glass framed, the museum glass framed and everything. It was almost $1,000 just to have that framed. It does look bitchin' though. Alright. Pack off my ugly mug. It's not quite her bedtime. 475. You know, the great thing is, I'm not going to mind spending more time on this afterwards. I'll have the funding. Gee, she's costing me more than my wife. Oh, these comments are great tonight. Making me smile. I tried to get a gold frame for one of the works, 16 by 20, the cheapest. Yeah. But you can go to these framing places, and I can't believe... it always amazes me what a framing place gets to frame stuff. It's... I'm not saying the work's not there, but when it's more than the, you know, 6 to 20 hours or 30 hours of the painting itself that's going in there, I do have issue with that. And Warlock's not here to keep track of the bids either, so I got to keep track of everything. It's a busy night. It's a busy night. It's a tough job. It's a tough job. It is making me want to work through the heat, though, more and more, the more the bids go. So it'll be approaching my bedtime eventually. But regardless, that tiki painting and all the other paintings are going out. Those are going after, but those are going out tomorrow. So I appreciate everyone waiting for their paintings. Some people have been waiting a very long time. Like the Lion Roar one, that one's going out. That looks awesome cleared. So that's going. What's another 25? We are at a 500 even with Gary. Topping the bid. It's getting up to the top level of live feed paintings. I forget what the highest is. Oh, the highest was Gary with the servo skull. I don't think anything's taken that one yet. No, I wish she'd come up. Then she could actually make a few bucks so that I could pay her to sit up here, but no. She doesn't find a job. She's going to be doing more of these and running the board, so I don't have to. Frame shops cost more than a moderate crack habit. But so see how I've just been steadily working around? You know, I kind of bounce around the air and start balancing it. You know, it really starts to come together. And as far as like a lesson standpoint, realistically, it's just more and more of that. You know, it's just more slow build, look at the photo, look at the photo, and then go in for the final details. So, you know, like I said, and then we'll tone the background. But this is kind of, it just repeats from here on out, okay? You know, you go in, you work some shading, look at the photo, work some shading, and just start balancing everything. Like, I want to make sure that, you know, when you look here, we get all this detail in the front fin or flipper or whatever goes in front, and then we build it out. And then when that's done, we'll tie in the water, and I'll talk about that. And we have a 525. 12 things. I am writing this down so I don't lose track. I'm going to start putting on my, can't speak that fast, so I'll stutter like crazy. My stuttering problem will really come in if I try to talk like an auctioneer. For those of you who don't know, I do have a massive stutter. I'm really good at masking it, as long as I stay in my comfort zone. I guess this would go nice next to the tiki. 12 things. You got the tiki, right? I am remembering that correct, right? I'm not just making that up in my head. Little details, little details. So that is how we know when you're bluffing. When who's bluffing? Oh, when I stutter? Yeah, that could probably be a... That could probably be a tell. Yeah, when I was a kid, I spent about 5 years in speech therapy. So I could learn to not stutter and pace my voicing out the right way. Because stuttering is really a trip. You're tripping over your words because it's your brain's working too fast. But now, see those little details, just how all that starts to come in. When the stutter kicks in, I know it's time. Yeah, I mean, I was bad when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I would stutter probably 90% of the words, 80-90%. I know I can't use the R word without getting banned on this, but yeah, I had teachers basically calling me that. It was the 70s and 80s. Put it on a Hawaii wall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would look good. Take this frame, hang some netting off it. Yeah, that could work. Oh, you never heard that from me? It's there. My wife can hear it when it's coming. If you notice, sometimes I might talk in a weird tense, or I might switch up a sentence and make a weird, like a weird word decision. A lot of times, I think it's the lead-in words to a sentence or a phrase, like how I'm going to start. Once the sentence is rolling, I'm good. But if I get tripped up, like right there, I have to think about what I'm going to say and what word I'm going to use, because certain words like W and M's are my stutter-like words, where it's like whoop, 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 you know, start like that. And I obviously just made that sound on purpose, but it kind of makes that, and I can feel it before it comes, and so I have to change it from a W word to something else, or an M to a W. It's just like a way to switch my tenses around so I can get my sentence out. And that's really the trick, and that's kind of what I worked on as a kid in speech class, and I'm sure they have different ways of teaching it now and helping people mitigate it. For me, it was basically, I almost rehearse what I'm about to say before I say it. Like when I was a kid reading, like, you know, the torturous, who remembers how to read out loud in class? Oh man, teachers were brutal, man. Some of the teachers are worse than kids. Zoom back up so you can kind of get the whole feel for this guy just floating. What I love about sea turtles most is, man, they just glide. They just glide around. It's like manta rays and sea rays. Those are amazing. I should paint some one of them at some point as well. Oh, I did start looking through some ideas with the DDTs that everyone put in last week. There's some good ones. So I'm going to choose about a half dozen of them, and I will put it to a member's choice for when we come back from this week's break and figure out what we're going to paint next week. So I'll post that up to the members very soon. I'll try to get that posted up this weekend, and we'll start figuring that out so I can figure out next week's fee. Because like this Thursday, we're not going to have a fee. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the feed and that that truck. We're just working our way through. Let's work some more detail on the eye and get the kind of socket rolled around here. I think a little bit of like Metajoule sparkle on top of this might be really cool if whoever ends up with the final bid would like that on there. A little subtle ice pearl flake just to give it a little shimmer. Oh, Gary just jumped it up. I need another piece of paper. Hot damn, it's a party now. $600 for a big G. To pearl or not to pearl? That will be the question for the winner. Good night, honey. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you everyone for the super chats. Look at this little guy. He's worth $600 all damn day long. He's a happy little turtle. So at this point, I'm just going to paint till one of you bidders yields. And then whoever's the high one will get to decide the final finish. And look at this piece. Oh, we have a tap out. Girl thinks, thank you very much. I know you really want it. Tell your wife thank you. There'll be future paintings. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's put a little bit more detail in here. I do have a limited budget if you do jellyfish. I am planning a jellyfish painting. One is years in the making. I got to get one done for my wife for the house before I do one live. But I have been doing some jellyfish reconnaissance for some paintings. And I do commission work too. If you want to specifically talk about painting one, we can definitely do that. You know, color and style and size and all that. Like the one I'm doing for my wife, I'm going to do... I say for my wife, it's for the house. It's for both of us, obviously. But the one I'm going to do is like a narrow, probably like a 1 foot, about like 36 or 48 inch, and do one of those. I forget the name of the ones with really long, tendrils coming down. That's a future painting. But if there's a specific want in color and style and size, I do commission paintings. So it'll be yours and just for you and how you want it. So we can talk about that if you guys are ever interested. It can be on canvas, board, metal. We could do grinding metal in the background, candy overlays, pearls, whatever you're into. And my summertime is a great time for those as well, because summer I'm a little slower because we don't do as much motorcycle work up here because everyone's riding. So it's a good time to catch me on a commission. So let me know. And with a commission, I can do it live if you want to do live sessions, or I can do it completely blind. Oh yeah, this is midpoint. Like, I really want to get in here. A shark would be cool too, but I really want to get into this area and really structure it, because you can see how a lot of the form and direction is dictated by like the way the scales are. So I got to hit that just right, and like I got to get this angle coming across here, better, which I don't think I quite have it yet to where it needs to be, and I got to pay more attention to get that in here, because I have the down, but this needs to come across here more. So this is where you got to identify the painting more, like, but for all intents and purposes, it's there, because now you can see. Yeah, look, you guys, the three of us can talk. We can sit down and figure out, color schemes and sizes and where you want it, and really cater it to you guys. But see, now if I go in with the white, because I have all this set up at the end, when I go in here, just see what that does. Those little bit of white detailing, it just really pops everything. And I can kind of come around. You see how much that pops everything right there. Let's just poke that out a little more. Polar bear. Put those in there. Do that, hashtag, or it doesn't even matter. The DDT, put the word in, like DDT polar bear. I know you guys might have put that last week, and I'm going to look through those. I actually have, which is illegal to get anymore, but I have an old when it was legal. I actually have abalone flake, which now what they call abalone flake is obviously simulated because you're not allowed to make it anymore, rightfully so. But back in the day, it was actually crushed up abalone shell and to make it. So I actually have abalone flake that I've never used in a job. I got it from someone when they were going out. Yeah, see how just that little bit of white really starts to shape it and come together. Like if I take my turtle, God, your friends are going to appreciate you for. So, like, if I want to refine, See how, if you notice, if you rewind a little bit, when I did this white line, it came down just a tick more. I mean, like not like a 0.5 millimeter radius, and it gave him a little bit more of the smile he actually has. That's how subtle when you get into realism, or stylized realism like I do. That those little tweaks is what does it. Like, so I'll come around like this. I'm going to cut this. I know you can't see it because I'm not on. But I take this here like this. I cut that back. And you can see now I got the right smile. And I can come across and I can just hit that a little brighter now. And that little bit of shade, watch what that does. See how subtle that was and how big of a difference that made? That's what I'm talking about all those subtle little hits you do. So when you work from the photo and tweak it, you can work and really punch everything out the way it needs to be. So again, like I do this, I make a little cut like here, and I'm gonna just hit right here. Okay, I'm taking that, and this is gonna help punch out the neck a little bit. So it's gonna be super subtle. Just that little bit. See how that just started to bring it together? It starts bringing his face to the foreground. That cute little face. So that's what's going to happen with the rest of this painting as I wrap it up. But I will record it and keep everyone posted. Because I don't think another hour and a half live is going to be very enjoyable for anyone to watch. Because realistically, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be probably another hour and a half, 2 hours of doing this, all this little back and forth. Because I got all the structure here. Now it's pulling out these final details and just refining it. And then the background's going to be super simple. But that's really the process. Yeah, Mike, you pointed it out exactly. Well, Mike noticed it. I painted more on the mask than I did on here. So if you look, when I painted that, look how much is on the mask and how much is on there. Almost nothing. You use the mask as a tool and you overdo it here and allow the overspray just to kiss over the edge. That's the same thing here. Look at the amount I did here. And just let a little bit get up here, but look how impactful that is. Okay, that's the key to using a stencil or an edge of a stencil or paper or template or even texture. Like, watch. Even if I go into here, let's see, where can I add a little? I'm going to add a little bit up to the shell. Like right in here, if you look at the photo, see how there's a lot of little texture going on right here? Just to watch, this little bit. I'm just going to kiss it. Just that little bit adds a lot of interest. Happy little textures. Called bouncing. Yeah, I've heard that term before. Yeah, bounce it off the stencil. You just basically deflect the edge. Then the other thing we do is when we, instead of holding a template down, you raise it up. So if I did this and I used this as like a water, I could just raise it up a little bit, and I get a soft. It's much softer looking than if I put it down hard. It does make a difference. So it's being subtle at this point. This is where less is more, and subtlety is the key. Especially when you're dealing with like non-motorcycle art, cartoon stuff. When you do cartoon style stuff, t-shirt stuff, you can afford to be bold and really heavy-handed. When you start doing guys like this is where you got to slow down and let your brush control and that subtlety come in, because that makes all the difference. you saw how that little bit here, that little 5 minutes, 10 minutes of work, if you go back and you go back from this point back like 5 or 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and you look at this to that, you'll notice that 5 minutes of difference made so much. And that's going to keep happening. If you've done all your structure right, and you worked in the mids, and you didn't overdo it, go too dark too fast, or too much highlighting, you get your midpoint, so everything's here. You got some mid-dark, some mid-lights, you pushed and pulled. Now you can go, boom, you can pull that out, and then you can also go here and hit the dark in the corner, and then pop it out. You can work in the little details. That's really the key at this point, is setting yourself up for success. Everything I did here for the first 3 hours of this painting is a setup for the final success. So it didn't look like I was doing much, but all little things built, and I kind of didn't overdo it, let the structure come, and then I went in for those kill shots, and that's this and this and this. And I'll keep doing that till the painting's done. And with that, hour and a half, that's not too bad for a Monday night feed. I think we got a lot done. Yeah, so let me switch this up. I want to thank everyone for popping in. Thank you to everyone for the super chats. And thank you to Gary Shees and 12 Things I Like for the bids. And I really, really appreciate the support. Makes my heart feel good when I paint like this and people see the value on it. I know it's not just bidding to throw money. I know it's because you want the painting because of the quality of it. I really do appreciate that. So we're going to keep working on it, keep adding more to the channel. Definitely give me some suggestions. Like I said, we won't be on this coming Thursday. We'll be on next Thursday. So hit me up and post some DDTs of what you guys want for down there tricks and ideas, and we will get the members' choice up. And by next week, we'll figure it out. So I want to thank everyone again. Have a great night. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, so that's the other reason. Thursday night, well, Wednesday's birthday. Thursday I'm working. But Wednesday I probably won't be on at all. So everyone have a great, awesome week, and I will talk to you all soon. Peace out. See you later. Happy Monday.